Given the success of the Resident Evil 2 remake in 2019, fans began to hope that we may get a remake of Resident Evil 3. Just a year later, Capcom answered the prayers of fans as they released Resident Evil 3 Remake. The Resident Evil 2 remake was fantastic. The Resident Evil 3 remake was not bad, but it wasn't great either. What went wrong with this game, and how did it waste its potential? Before we start, just in case you're wondering how much I played the game, I beat it on every single difficulty from Assisted to Inferno and got the Platinum Trophy. My first playthrough was on Standard. The most disappointing thing about this game is how Nemesis was utilised. Yep, we're jumping straight into the deep end here. In the Resident Evil 2 remake, Mr. X was terrifying. He would stroll the RPD menacingly, stalking you as you tried to solve puzzles. It meant that you were always on edge. Nemesis only does this once for around 5 minutes. He makes his presence known almost immediately, which kinda sets up false hope for what's to come. The only time in the game where he stalks you is once you've turned the power on. He will always burst through the wall, follow you to the building where you do the only puzzle in the game, carefully wait outside, and then he'll appear once more once you go through the donut shop and follow you to the substation. That is all. That is the only time he actively stalks you in the game. Beyond this, every single one of his appearances are then relegated to set pieces and boss fights. This is a major letdown, especially given how Mr. X operated in 2. The game is literally called Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Why does he simply never stalk you? Not good enough. Then we have what I would say is the biggest issue that this game has, is simply not balanced at all. 3 was always more action orientated than 2, but they added way too many enemies into this game. There's plenty of ammo to go around for the most part, but that's not the point. You can't just slap 6 zombies in a room and call it difficulty. That's not how game balancing works. Yeah, you're not supposed to kill every enemy, but when they just slap this many zombies in such small confined spaces, you don't really have much of a choice. Then we have the hunters. Who the hell was in charge of deciding how much health these things have? They should not be in charge of doing this ever again. Just look at this clip. Yes, some of the bullets missed. And yes, for some reason I was trying to dodge as Carlos. But I have just fired 2 full magazines of assault rifle ammo into this thing, just for it to insta-kill me in one swing. If that wasn't enough, 5 minutes later you have to fight 2 in the same room. Who came up with this stuff? Sure, use a flashbang, use a grenade, get good, whatever. That's not the point. The point is that it is simply poor design, regardless of whether or not you can get through it. Now, let's talk about something criminal. The length of this game. My first playthrough of the game on standard difficulty, where I took my time, explored all of the rooms, got every collectible and everything else, took me 5 hours. Now, I paid £20 for this game, and the aim of the game here is multiple playthroughs to get your best time, so I didn't feel hard done by in terms of the price. However, this game was full price on release. That is outrageous! My best time of the game was 1 hour and 12 minutes. 1 hour and 12 minutes. There just simply isn't enough content here. Fans were annoyed that they'd apparently removed a third of the game, and I can understand why. Although the addition of the shop did make repeat playthroughs a lot more fun. Being able to purchase extra inventory space, or coins that give you a damage and defense buff, or even one of Jill's old outfits. And especially the bloody rocket launcher. All of this stuff made the game a lot more fun. I would not have been able to beat this game on Inferno without that rocket launcher, and here's why. Who in the living hell decided this was a good idea? On every single difficulty other than Inferno, the final boss is an absolute cakewalk. Shoot the orbs, push the thing, press the railgun. But on Inferno, it's dodge, 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 dodge. Shoot 2 orbs, dodge, 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 dodge. Shoot more orbs, repeat, repeat, repeat. I get why it's harder, okay? It's the final boss on the highest difficulty. It's likely the final thing you do in the game before you get the platinum. But that doesn't justify such a dramatic difficulty spike. At least not in my opinion. But yeah, as I was saying before that tangent, the game is too short, and given that they've removed the multiple endings from the original game, it's not good enough. I know that a lot of Resident Evil fans think the length is a non-issue, but to me, it is an issue. When you're asking full price for a 5-hour long remake of an older game. Now, let's talk about the story. At the very least, it's gotta have a good story, right? Not really. It's enough to keep you going, but sit down, take off the fan glasses, and think about what the story of this game actually is. Jill wakes up, gets chased by Nemesis for a few hours, meets Carlos along the way, and they become friends. Nikolai is evil. Kill Nemesis. Kill Nikolai. Leave. There is no character development from anyone. Every single character leaves this game the exact same way they started it. That's a bad story, no matter which way it's spun. I mean, it's never even explained to you why Nemesis has a hard-on for Jill. Sure, if you read every note or whatever, you might figure it out, but that's not good enough. That's kind of the main theme of the video, isn't it? The game touches on stuff, but it's not good enough. Capcom themselves know that they should have done better, because they nearly did. The opening cutscene with Jill when you're in first person lays down the foundations for a deeper story that could have delved into the psychological trauma that she's going through following the events of the first game. But nope, it's just completely forgotten about and then ignored, never to be brought up again. With all of that stuff in mind, I still had a lot of fun with this game. It's still an enjoyable few hours, and when it's on sale, which it is quite often in fairness, I recommend picking it up. You just have to go in aware that it's inferior to 2 in every single way. I'd be lying if I said it's not a good time. Weaving around the zombies is as fun as ever, and the first time through, the Nemesis set pieces are exhilarating, although repeat playthroughs do expose the simplicity of the level design. The game is far too linear, has a maximum of 2 puzzles, and seems to think that the best way to make it harder is to pad in enemies with too much health and scatter too many of them along the way. Fantastic character models, spectacular set pieces, and a speedrunner's dream are vastly impeded by a shallow story, poor level design, and a mishandled antagonist, and that is why Resident Evil 3 Remake is the perfect example of wasted potential. Thank you for making it to the end of this pretty negative video for my standards. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, then please make sure to leave a like, as it will be greatly appreciated by me, and if you want to see more fantastic gaming videos, then make sure to subscribe, because I upload every single Friday. Have a nice day, and goodbye.